please. Reporting live from the winter side. Great they try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride? Never try. You will never know. You ain't never tried. Work it out. Hit the gym. Hit the field. Hit the wind. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job. You can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great color coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league, most valuable. They sweet as apple.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Inside. Check. 40. Hey, box drop.
Working from the gun. Rodgers into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Mike, go hard. You got nothing.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook. Shifts by him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Packers' 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They try again with Cook. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal for Cousins. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, watch the slide.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Yeah, live. 54. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. 54. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Watch the slant.
Now Rodgers. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They start the drive with Cook, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On second down, Cook. And some space here. And they will finally get him down, and now penalty flags coming in as well. And they might get half the distance here to boot. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The quick slant caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
319.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Hey, exit. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They go play action. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep for, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet.
While making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Check 9.
Hey, check 26. Hey, 88.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Mike 55. Mike 55.
Set the
Hey, high 7.
Let's go.
Mike 50.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now, 1st down.
Gun.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You got it.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Vikings, 1st down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On On second and very short, Cousins. This is screen to Abdullah. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Man open, it's Moss, complete. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Bailey's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He finds an opening past the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
It's a gain of 28 yards. That's good for Packers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Jump out! Box it, box it, box it, box it. Eat. Go.
55's Mike, guys, 55. Watch the run.
Mike. Get up.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Get 300. Gun.
Mike 55. Get your swerve on.
Get up.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a run with Cole. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Play fake. Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Again, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Green 18.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Zoom.
Check.
Right there.
26.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Mike.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Wahoo!
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Man, I got you.
Here's Cousins. It's brought in by Doxson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Cook running right. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Play action now. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 58 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll go again to Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, the 40, the 20, 10. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Now a toss coming right side. It's Cook, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Mike 50. Mike 50.
Cousins. Flush to his right. Now he'll let this one go deep right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The deep ball for Dotson. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Dotson, 83 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that one obviously worked out, but it's one where you kind of hold your breath because he was sitting there waiting to take a hit as he threw that ball downfield.
And this is the NFL. You're going to be tested a lot as a guy throwing the football. Will you stand in there, take the hit, and deliver downfield? And when you do it consistently, your offensive line loves you. Your receivers love you. Everyone does their job to the utmost because they have that kind of confidence in you, and they know that you've shown some toughness, and that's what he exhibited there.
But your body hates you.
No, your body's not real thrilled about the whole thing, but ice packs all around for the QB.
The offense back out there at the line ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there, but how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Rodgers now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kentrell Brothers in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On play action, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page. quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous. First. Check.
Hey, watch this.
A first down throw for Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Now it's Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
88. Plant.
Squeeze. All day, dog.
Hey.
Smooth.
Mike right there. 40's Mike.
Here it comes.
The Packers go for it. Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On first down, it's Jones. A nice little juke. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Hey, go on, Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 40, Mike 40. We own them. We own them.
Second and 5 now. Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Packers on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be third and 5. Here's Rodgers. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Finally a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up first and 10 at the 16. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Brings up second and 10.
Get 300.
At the
Get 300.
16-yard line.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
Hey, can't. Hey, flipper. Wide.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
John, watch the twist. Leave it. Ring up, 48. Hey, Alpha, we're going.
Throwing here, Cousins. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Vikings on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is third and 10.
Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? Hey, flipper. Defense, let's get it together. Watch twist.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Steps away to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now Cousins on fourth down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota.